So now I'm just gonna, wait, let me start again. Let me try that again. Okay. I didn't introduce myself.
Oh, okay, I can introduce you. Do you want to?
Yeah, you gotta say who I am. I can't just be here as a little bobblehead.
Okay, I'll do it again. You ready?
But just say hi, guys.
Okay.
And then let me introduce myself.
Hey guys, welcome back to Josh's Fish Spot. This is my wife Hannah, and today we're going to be setting up her brand new 75-gallon aquarium. This is the replacement aquarium that you might have seen in the last video where we dropped it coming down the stairs. We don't trust that aquarium anymore. It might have a bust in it. So she's going to set up her new aquarium. We have a few things that we're going to put in it. You want to tell them about your soil?
This soil is really good. It grows good plants.
This is the fluval biostratum soil. This is what she's going to put on her base layer, and then on top of her base layer of soil she's going to use
black sand.
Black sand. We're going to use the black diamond sand, sandblasting sand from Tractor Supply. It's safe to use, it's inert. We're going to cap off the soil with that. That way it really gives it that black sand look. And do you know what fish that you're going to put in your aquarium?
For right now, we're just gonna take all my cories that we have over there in Josh's 33-gallon tank. And then I don't want to put the acars back in there because they were eating all of my plants, and I really love my crypts and things. So we're going to eventually get me another 75-gallon tank and put it right here. And I'm gonna do kind of a rock scape for all of my acars right there next to it. So today we're just gonna move all the cories. I think that's really it. And then I'm gonna get on Dan's fish and kind of look around and see what he has available that's maybe more of a community fish that won't wreck all of my plants, and that I don't like aggressive fish so much. I don't like to see the aggression, so I'd like to find something that's colorful.
So more of a community tank.
Yeah, so
we're looking for more of a community tank on this one, I think. So we're gonna drop the camera down, throw it on time-lapse mode, and
here we go. Get
to knocking this thing out.
Okay, just a couple more things about this tank before we get going. This is a 75-gallon tank. It is sold as a set with this stand. Actually, technically that one, but they're the same. It also comes with a light and 2 glass lids, but I have a better light. It's a fluval light. That's what we're gonna be putting on this. So yeah, here we go.
Oh, and we already did paint the back of the tank. So the back of the tank is black on this one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's the aesthetic she was looking for. So we're gonna peel these stickers off, give the tank a wipe down, and then get to set it up. So we put 1.5 bags of the fluval stratum soil in here, and what she's doing right now is just removing it away from the edge because she's going to put sand on the sides and the front, and then obviously this side too, about 2 inches in, and then everything else will just be soil. It's one of the things that she didn't do with her last tank. Her last tank, we had a big spot in the middle with no soil underneath, so it kind of limited her
ability to plant stuff.
Yeah, ability to plant stuff and what she could do in the future. So this time around, we're going to soil the whole bottom of the tank, and then sand cap it.
Okay, so I have a bunch of geodes that I found at the lake that we live on here in Kentucky, and some of them were in my previous tank. You can see kind of the algae from the green ones, but I'm just gonna rinse these off and get some dirt off of them. Also, some of them have white sand from my last tank, and I'm doing black sand now, so I want to make sure I get all that off before I start building my aquascape. I'm gonna start building my aquascape in this corner over here, in this back right corner, because that's where I'd like to put my tree. This tree. So I've just cleaned off all my rocks. And I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna start with this really big one and then layer it a bit. And these are some shiny geodes I'm gonna put around there and top it off with my tree up top. So it's gonna be a lot of trial and error. I'm not really sure how I want it to look. So I'm just gonna play with the rocks that I have and see what I come up with.
All right, she's working on a landscaping idea here. She's trying to build like a mountain over in this corner, kind of, if you can see it out of these geodes. And fill in the whole back possibly with just soil. And that way there's like 2 planes. There's like the bottom plane of plants and whatnot, and then up here there's gonna be a tree and then more plants. That's the going theory right now. All right, one of the last things we have to do to get this 75-gallon tank up and running is what I wanted to do from the beginning with that tank over there in the corner, this tank, this is gonna be a tank. I've got this tank and then obviously the 180 that I'm gonna build up. But up here on the wall, I don't have any way to get air line to the tanks. So if you look around up here, this is above the 75, this is above the 33. All of these tanks have the same air pump running every tank here. I'd like every tank in the fish room to be running off the same air pump. So the goal for the rest of this video is, well, let me show you. We went out and we bought some 10-foot section of 1/2-inch PVC. And if we go back here behind these tanks, you can see here's the PVC running up the wall, and each one of these valves run to one of the tanks on this rack. What I need to do is tie into this PVC. This PVC runs up in the wall and it comes out down here and kind of runs straight up. So it's not the best spot to tie into. Instead, I'm gonna tie into it way over here. So we're on the other side of the fish rack now, and if we look up into the ceiling, here's that white PVC running up here and behind the fish tank rack. Instead, I'm gonna run straight across, kind of like where this wire is right here, and I'm gonna run all the way over to the corner of that wall. And from the corner of that wall, I'm gonna run a piece straight down and a piece over here to this 15 and then to the 180 eventually. But what I got for that is, again, I got 60 foot of 1/2-inch PVC. I went out and I got some black spray paint to paint it all so I can hide it. And I got some couplers, some 90 degrees, and some T's. This process is relatively simple. This isn't something that I think I need to go in depth for you guys, but it would give you a good idea of what I'm doing for the fish room. And then I went ahead and bought some airline. You can get this stuff on Amazon for super cheap. I think this is like 300 foot of airline. I've already went through one of these in the fish room, so this will be my second one. And for each tank, I'll just have a piece of airline coming down with a valve adjuster so we can adjust the air going to each tank. I'm gonna try to hide it right here in the corner so you never see that going down. So I won't have like airline coming straight down for each one. I think that doesn't look too good. So.
All right, y'all, my tank's done. So this journey has been quite a bit longer than expected. It's been a little over a month now since my original 75-gallon busted. And the actual putting together of this tank took several days because, you know, life. So I'm really excited about it, really proud of how it turned out. So I'd like to kind of show you all a little bit more about it and tell you all what made it to the final product. We've got a sword plant over here, some crypts that are growing. All of these plants, except for the one right in the middle, are from my previous 75-gallon. So it's pretty impressive how well they've survived in my husband's tanks. So here's big fern. We've got, oh, not fern, just kidding, sword. I want to say swordtail. I know that's not right. It's a sword plant. We're going to put it down here for you. All of these crypts, they were barely alive. When we put them in here, they were actually like flopped over, so they've grown up towards the light already, which is wonderful. Then we have this beautiful squiggly plant that I'm gonna actually give you the real name for right now on the screen. This one has been my husband's plant, and he just suggested that I put it in here because it looks really beautiful. This is a floating plant that I've always had on this piece of driftwood that's like a tree. It's really beautiful. I'm also going to tell you the name for that right now. Here you go. Then we've got these Java ferns on top of these little tunnels. And these are really just for my cories. Actually, my pleco seems to be using them mostly right now. All of these rocks are geodes from our local lake that we live at here. These larger pieces originally weren't going to be in my tank. However, I was trying to build up kind of like a mountain area. If you can see the landscape, it kind of like escalates over there. It goes from like low to really high. And everything else that I was trying to use to build up that much height wasn't working. So we brainstormed, went out on the front porch, found these that we got from the river by our house not too long ago. Oh, look. My pleco's coming out. You see it right in there. I don't know if you can see her, but she's beautiful. She's very elusive. We can never really find her. She's I think I'm going to say this wrong, but we'll put the right words on the screen. Blue fin spotted pleco. Maybe it's a midnight pleco. There's a really cool feature in this tank that I want to show you all. I don't know if you've ever seen those tanks where they have like little caves kind of built into the soil. I was looking at those before I put this tank together, and I really liked the idea, but I wasn't sure how to incorporate it. So Josh printed me off one, and I decided to put it on the side of my tank. Let's take a look. Not sure how well you can see this, but right down in here, this whole capsulated area, right here, is a cave, and you can see the entrance right there. It's really cool on the side of this tank. No one's in it right now, but my pleco has been in it, and a couple cories have been using it. So they know it's there. They know how to get in and out. I'm very excited about it. I've got 2 fluval lights on the top here, glass lids. On my previous 75, I had a hang-on back filter, a canister filter, and a sponge filter, but on this one I took the hang-on back filter off because I only really used it. I like the sound of the waterfall in my room, but now that it's down here in Josh's fish room where you can already hear kind of the bubbling of some water, I didn't want to add more noise to the room, so I took that off. So all that this one has, I say all, like it's not a lot, but it's plenty of filtration. We've got a sponge filter over here in this corner, and you can see this sucker's really going. This is actually on the same airline that all of these tanks are on. So Josh finished putting in, you can't even see it now because it's black and painted, but there is a PVC pipe coming from back there where all of the air comes from. Up here, it splits off, comes this way. This is the airline for my tank. It's going to be 2 tanks, but right now just this one. And then it continues up this way and down towards this tank. So you can see there's a really nice sponge filter going back there with some good bubbles. Hello, Mr. Akara. This is one of my big boys. And then my tank as well. I absolutely love how much top water movement this sponge filter is giving me. And then here's the intake for my 5-gallon canister filter. And I was gonna put the outspout where all the water comes out up and down in the water column, but I didn't want it to blow my sand away because I've created a giant hill here with a lot of dirt and a lot of sand. So I put it this direction so that it will give some top water movement, but it still wasn't doing nearly as much as this sponge filter is doing. Also, the sand is black sand from Tractor Supply. We'll put that on the screen for you. And underneath this layer of sand here is dirt to the bottom, and it's aquarium dirt. We'll put that on the screen for you. I don't quite know the name of it, but it has given me really good growth on my plants in the past. So I wanted to make sure that it was in here for this go around also. Okay, so far I've only put 8 of my cories in my tank and my 1 pleco that I showed you all earlier, just because my plants, I don't have a lot of plants that are very big, and I want to be able to check the water quality, the parameters of everything over the next couple of days to see how everything's doing, since my filter has been on one of Josh's tanks for about a month now, and the sponge filter was from one of his other tanks, but still, just want to be careful. I don't want any fish to die, and I need to kind of learn how much to feed versus how often to do a water change now that I have different plants and a different ecosystem going on. There are also 3 little snails in there. So everybody's doing really great. It's been a couple of days. They're doing wonderful. I'm thinking of adding some more of my cories. I have probably 25 to 30. I don't know if they're all gonna go back in there. I would like some sort of larger fish. Maybe one of my acaras, maybe a couple angels. I might go on Dan's Fish and check out and see what he's got, if there's anything I'd like to add that's kind of a community fish. Yeah, so that's kind of it. If you have any questions or comments about my tank, just let me know. It took quite a while to get to this landscape. I had to trial and error several things. I brought Josh in, asked his opinion, because you know, I just wanted it to look good. But all in all, I'm really happy with how this process went. And yeah, now I get to watch my fishies again. Until next time, peace.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.